In a chaotic world where emotions and challenges besiege us, Stoic wisdom makes a defiant comeback. It teaches us something liberating. Sometimes to grow, we need to release the ties of certain relationships, even those with family or friends. This is an invitation not to isolation, but to authenticity and inner peace. Today, we will uncover 11 signs it's time to cut ties, so get comfortable to fully absorb the content. Let's get started. 1. When relationships hinder your personal growth. Relationships play a pivotal role in shaping our lives, influencing our decisions, and molding our character. Ideally, friendships and familial bonds should serve as pillars of support, guiding us towards personal growth, wisdom, and virtue. However, there are instances where these very relationships can become impediments to our development. The sentiment that friendship that can end was never real encapsulates a profound truth. Authentic relationships endure the tests of time and adversity. When we find ourselves in connections that seem to hinder rather than nurture our personal growth, it becomes imperative to engage in deep introspection and reflection. This introspective process demands courage, as it often entails questioning the nature of our bonds, re-evaluating familial dynamics, and at times making difficult decisions to distance ourselves from friendships that no longer align with our values and aspirations. Central to this journey of self-discovery is the recognition that personal growth is intertwined with the company we keep. Healthy relationships are those that foster growth, challenge us to become better versions of ourselves, and respect our individuality and life goals. Seneca's wisdom resonates profoundly in this context. Genuine relationships are those that support our pursuit of wisdom and virtue, standing resilient in the face of challenges and adversity. It's about surrounding ourselves with individuals who not only encourage our growth, but also walk alongside us as companions on the path towards self-realization. Navigating relationships that hinder personal growth necessitates courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to embrace change. It's a journey marked by discoveries, challenges, and necessary renewals. Ultimately, it's about honoring ourselves by choosing connections that elevate us, empower us, and align with our journey towards becoming the best versions of ourselves. 2. When destructive emotions dominate the relationship. Exploring the realm of destructive emotions within relationships invites us to reflect on the wisdom imparted by Marcus Aurelius, a revered figure in Stoic philosophy. His words, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this and you will find strength," serve as a profound reminder of the importance of mastering our emotions, particularly in relationships tainted by negative feelings such as anger, jealousy, or resentment. These detrimental emotions, when allowed to reign unchecked in our relationships, can erode our inner strength and distance us from a state of calm and self-possession. They ensnare us in a cycle of reactionary behavior, often in response to circumstances beyond our control. While it's natural to experience emotions like anger or jealousy, allowing them to dominate our interactions can lead us astray from the path of self-control and tranquility. The challenge lies in recognizing these destructive emotions and acknowledging our agency in choosing how we respond to them. As Marcus Aurelius teaches us, while we may not have control over external events, we possess full authority over our reactions to them. This necessitates ongoing introspection and the cultivation of self-mastery, essential skills for preserving mental and emotional well-being amidst challenging relational dynamics. When we find ourselves ensnared in relationships where destructive emotions run rampant, it becomes imperative to evaluate the nature of those connections. We must consider whether they contribute positively to our growth and well-being, or if they perpetuate a cycle of emotional turmoil and unrest. Ultimately, confronting destructive emotions in our relationships calls for tapping into the inner strength espoused by Marcus Aurelius. This entails practicing patience, empathy, and understanding, while also establishing healthy boundaries and, if necessary, distancing ourselves from relationships that impede our emotional and intellectual development. It's a journey of self-discovery and empowerment, where we learn to prioritize relationships that elevate us and discerningly disengage from those that diminish us. In doing so, we reclaim agency over our emotional landscape and pave the way for healthier, more fulfilling connections. 3. If you are being manipulated or controlled, addressing the issue of manipulation and control within interpersonal relationships necessitates a consideration of the Stoic perspective on autonomy, as emphasized by Epictetus, one of the eminent philosophers of this philosophical tradition. His admonition, "No one is free who is not master of himself," encapsulates the essence of individual freedom and self-governance, both crucial components of personal well-being and growth. Manipulation and control within any relationship are stark indicators of compromised autonomy. When our decisions, thoughts, and actions are consistently influenced or dictated by another individual, our personal freedom is egregiously infringed upon. Such dynamics directly contradict the Stoic principles, which prioritize self-mastery and the sovereignty of the individual. It's imperative to recognize the signs of manipulation and control within a relationship, which may manifest through incessant criticism, erosion of self-esteem, social isolation, or the imposition of decisions without regard for others' opinions. These behaviors not only undermine self-confidence but also ensnare the individual in a cycle of emotional and psychological dependence. The awareness of being ensnared in a relationship that curtails personal autonomy marks the initial step towards liberation. Epictetus underscores that genuine freedom stems from mastering oneself. This entails assuming control over one's own life, establishing healthy boundaries, and, if necessary, terminating relationships that encroach upon our fundamental freedom. While ending a manipulative relationship can be daunting and emotionally taxing, it represents an act of courage and a pivotal stride towards reclaiming agency over one's life. This process of emancipation unfolds as a journey of self-discovery, self-affirmation, and above all, the reaffirmation of one's intrinsic worth and autonomy. In essence, recognizing and disengaging from relationships characterized by manipulation and control is an act of profound self-respect. Following Epictetus's counsel, we endeavor to become masters of our destinies, nurturing relationships that honor our autonomy and empower us to realize our fullest potential. 4. This entails assuming control over one's own life, establishing healthy boundaries, and, if necessary, terminating relationships that encroach upon our fundamental freedom. While ending a manipulative relationship can be daunting and emotionally taxing, it represents an act of courage and a pivotal stride towards reclaiming agency over one's life. This process of emancipation unfolds as a journey of self-discovery, self-affirmation, and above all, the reaffirmation of one's intrinsic worth and autonomy. In essence, recognizing and disengaging from relationships characterized by manipulation and control is an act of profound self-respect. Following Epictetus's counsel, we endeavor to become masters of our destinies, nurturing relationships that honor our autonomy and empower us to realize our fullest potential. 4. When the relationship does more harm than good. When delving into the dynamics of relationships that do more harm than good, it's paramount to underscore the significance of individual well-being in each person's journey. Toxic relationships, characterized by energy drain, persistent emotional discomfort, and a negative atmosphere, stand in stark contrast to the ideals of personal growth and development. In such scenarios, it's crucial to recognize that ongoing tension, unresolved conflicts, mutual disrespect, and a lack of emotional support are hallmarks of a harmful relationship. These dynamics not only impede personal flourishing, but can also detrimentally impact mental and physical health. Toxicity within a relationship often manifests through various means, including constant criticism, a dearth of empathy, manipulation, or even emotional abuse. These circumstances create a cycle of negativity, leaving individuals feeling trapped and unable to advance in their personal or professional lives. The pursuit of inner well-being necessitates an environment fostering positivity, mutual support, respect, and most importantly, promoting mental and emotional health. When a relationship obstructs these facets, it becomes evident that change is imperative. Opting to distance oneself from a toxic relationship signifies an act of self-care and self-respect. Although this decision may be fraught with difficulty and accompanied by feelings of guilt or fear, it represents a crucial step toward making space for healthy, constructive relationships that genuinely contribute to growth and well-being. The process of disengaging from a harmful relationship also presents an opportunity for reflection and growth. It's a chance to bolster self-esteem, reaffirm one's values and priorities, and gain insight into the type of relationships that positively enhance life's journey. Therefore, it's vital to remain attentive to the signs of toxicity within relationships and summon the courage to pursue change when necessary. After all, prioritizing inner well-being and personal growth should be paramount, and the relationships we foster play an integral role in this pursuit. 5. If there is a lack of mutual respect, the issue of mutual respect in interpersonal relationships is a fundamental point, particularly within the context of Stoic principles that prioritize dignity and self-control. Relationships lacking mutual respect are incompatible with these values and often result in an environment characterized by misunderstanding, devaluation, and perpetual tension. Respect serves as the bedrock upon which healthy relationships are constructed. It's a chance to bolster self-esteem, reaffirm one's values and priorities, and gain insight into the type of relationships that positively enhance life's journey. Therefore, it's vital to remain attentive to the signs of toxicity within relationships and summon the courage to pursue change when necessary. After all, prioritizing inner well-being and personal growth should be paramount, and the relationships we foster play an integral role in this pursuit. 5. If there is a lack of mutual respect, the issue of mutual respect in interpersonal relationships is a fundamental point, particularly within the context of Stoic principles that prioritize dignity and self-control. Relationships lacking mutual respect are incompatible with these values and often result in an environment characterized by misunderstanding, devaluation, and perpetual tension. Respect serves as the bedrock upon which healthy relationships are constructed. It encompasses an acknowledgement of differences, active listening, understanding the perspectives of others, and the practice of empathy and consideration. In the absence of respect, communication falters, conflicts escalate, and harmony dissipates. A relationship devoid of mutual respect may manifest through expressions of disdain, destructive criticism, neglect of the needs and feelings of others, and even abusive behavior. These attitudes not only corrode the relationship itself, but also profoundly impact the self-esteem and emotional well-being of those involved. Stoic teachings underscore the significance of upholding dignity and exercising self-control in all interactions. This entails treating others with the same level of consideration and respect that we expect for ourselves. In relationships where this fundamental element is lacking, the dynamic becomes detrimental and distorted. Confronted with a situation where mutual respect is absent, it is imperative to assess the relationship and contemplate the necessary adjustments to restore a healthy equilibrium. This may entail engaging in open dialogue, establishing clear boundaries, and, in certain circumstances, distancing oneself, especially if disrespect persists as a recurring and irreparable pattern. Recognizing the absence of respect within a relationship and taking proactive measures to address it or disengage from it is an essential step in safeguarding one's dignity and mental well-being. Ultimately, opting for relationships grounded in mutual respect is synonymous with choosing a path of self-worth and personal growth in alignment with Stoic ideals of dignity and self-control. 6. When the relationship prevents acceptance of reality, the Stoic approach strongly advocates for the acceptance of reality as it is, a principle that extends to interpersonal relationships. Relationships that tether us to illusions or foster the denial of reality are counterproductive and potentially harmful. In Stoic philosophy, accepting reality does not equate to passivity or resignation. Rather, it entails a clear and objective understanding of the world as it exists, devoid of false expectations or idealizations. Applied to our relationships, this principle underscores the importance of maintaining bonds grounded in truth and authenticity. Relationships built on illusions or denial inhibit genuine self-awareness and hinder our ability to perceive others accurately. They lead us astray from living authentically, promoting instead a facade that veils the truth. Partnerships that encourage us to disregard reality through fantasies, excuses for unacceptable behavior, or the construction of alternative narratives distance us from genuine understanding. This detachment can result in neglect of serious issues, decision-making based on distorted perceptions, and perpetual disillusionment. Such relationships may be characterized by unmet promises, unrealistic expectations, or a refusal to acknowledge glaring problems. Confronting the truth within a relationship can be daunting, particularly when it necessitates dismantling cherished illusions. However, it's an essential step for personal growth and the cultivation of healthier, more grounded connections. Stoic philosophy urges us to embrace reality, confronting situations as they truly are, and seeking serenity within that acceptance. Therefore, it's vital to recognize the signs of relationships founded on illusion rather than reality. By acknowledging and distancing ourselves from such dynamics, we pave the way for a more authentic and fulfilling life in alignment with Stoic principles of acceptance and clear-sightedness. 7. If you are compromising your values. Living in alignment with one's values is a fundamental aspect of Stoicism and serves as a guiding principle for a fulfilling and meaningful life. When we encounter relationships that compel us to compromise or betray our core values, it presents a significant dilemma that warrants careful consideration and reflection. Personal values serve as an internal compass, shaping our decisions, actions, and interactions with the world. They reflect our deepest beliefs and what we hold to be important and true. When a relationship demands that we abandon or disregard these values, it not only undermines our personal integrity, but also engenders a profound sense of dissatisfaction and inner conflict. Instances where a relationship asks us to betray our values can manifest in various forms. It may entail pressure to act contrary to our moral compass, to tolerate behaviors that go against our principles, or even to sacrifice integral aspects of our identity. While these compromises may initially seem insignificant, they can accrue over time, eroding our self-esteem and diminishing our sense of self-respect. Stoic philosophy underscores the importance of living in harmony with our values. This necessitates the courage to make difficult choices, to distance ourselves from situations that deviate from our path, and to cultivate relationships that honor and reflect our fundamental principles. Re-evaluating a relationship through the lens of our values is a challenging endeavor. It may entail grappling with internal conflicts, feelings of loyalty, fear of loneliness, or resistance to change. However, staying true to our values is essential for our mental and emotional well-being, serving as a testament to our self-respect and authenticity. It is imperative to recognize how our relationships influence and reflect our values. When we discern that we are compromising our core values, it's incumbent upon us to seriously contemplate whether the relationship contributes to our personal growth and overall well-being. Choosing paths that resonate with our values not only embodies a Stoic principle, but also represents a crucial step towards leading a genuinely authentic and fulfilling life. 8. When the relationship is not reciprocal, reciprocity is a cornerstone of healthy and sustainable relationships. When one party consistently gives while the other solely receives, an inequitable dynamic emerges that can be detrimental in the long term. Balanced relationships thrive on mutual contribution and support, fostering a sense of fairness and equity. This exchange of giving and receiving doesn't always need to be precisely equal or immediate, but there should be a general sense of mutuality. In relationships where one side perpetually assumes the role of giver while the other remains the perpetual receiver, feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and devaluation may arise. This one-sided dynamic can manifest in various aspects, whether emotionally, where one person provides unwavering support while the other seldom reciprocates, or practically, such as in sharing daily tasks or making important decisions. When imbalance becomes entrenched, the relationship ceases to function as a partnership and instead burdens one party. Recognizing the signs of a non-reciprocal relationship is crucial. Addressing the issue may entail candid conversations about needs and expectations, redefining boundaries and responsibilities, or even reassessing the long-term viability of the relationship. In this context, it's essential to acknowledge that self-respect and self-esteem are also at stake. Consistently giving without receiving due value and consideration can erode one's perception of self-worth. Seeking balance in a relationship isn't solely about fairness, it's an act of self-care. To maintain healthy and fulfilling relationships, prioritizing reciprocity is paramount. Balanced relationships foster mutual growth, respect, and satisfaction for all parties involved. Cultivating such relationships is not only beneficial for our own well-being, but also contributes to the overall health and happiness of those we engage with. 9. If there is any form of abuse, abuse in any form is unequivocally unacceptable within any relationship. Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes self-respect and dignity, unequivocally instructs us to never tolerate abusive or harmful behaviors. Abuse can manifest in various ways: physically, emotionally, verbally, psychologically, or financially, and regardless of its form, it inflicts profound harm on the mental, physical, and emotional well-being of the victim. Abusive relationships are characterized by a cycle of control, intimidation, isolation, and fear. Stoic teachings underscore the importance of valuing and respecting oneself, which entails recognizing our inherent worth and refusing to accept treatment that compromises our integrity or well-being. Being in an abusive relationship is diametrically opposed to the virtuous and dignified life that Stoicism advocates. Recognizing that one is in an abusive relationship marks the initial step toward seeking help and effecting change. It's imperative to understand that abuse is never justifiable, and the responsibility lies entirely with the abuser, not the victim. Seeking support from friends, family, or professionals is essential in extricating oneself from such a situation. Exiting an abusive relationship is undoubtedly daunting and requires courage and support. However, it's a crucial step toward reclaiming self-esteem, self-respect, and autonomy. The journey of recovering from an abusive relationship is also a journey of reaffirming one's worth and resilience. Therefore, it's imperative to be cognizant of the signs of abuse and take prompt action to protect one's self. Aligning with Stoic teachings of self-worth and self-respect is pivotal on this journey. Living a life free from abuse, marked by dignity and respect, is a fundamental right for everyone. 10. When communication consistently fails, effective communication is a cornerstone of any healthy relationship. When communication consistently fails, whether it's one-sided or plagued by perpetual conflict, it becomes a significant obstacle to harmony and mutual understanding. In situations where communication is deficient, misunderstandings, frustrations, and resentments often ensue. According to Stoic philosophy, essential elements in a relationship include harmony and balance, both internally and in interactions with others. Stoics advocate for seeking understanding and fostering peaceful dialogue, avoiding unnecessary conflicts, and cultivating an environment of mutual respect. Effective communication is paramount in achieving these objectives. One-sided communication, where one party dominates the conversation or stifles the other's expression, creates a harmful imbalance. Similarly, communication fraught with constant conflicts and an inability to find common ground can be draining and exhausting. To improve communication in a relationship, it's vital to practice active listening, articulate thoughts clearly and respectfully, and remain open to dialogue while understanding the other person's perspective. This involves openly discussing issues, sharing feelings and needs, and collaboratively seeking constructive solutions. In cases where communication consistently fails despite efforts to improve, it may be necessary to reassess the relationship. Seeking the assistance of a professional, such as a couples therapist or counselor, can provide valuable guidance in overcoming communication barriers. Maintaining healthy and effective communication is fundamental for the health and longevity of any relationship. It not only contributes to individual well-being, but also fosters harmonious and enriching relationships, aligning with Stoic teachings of balance and mutual understanding. 11. If the relationship disrupts your tranquility, serenity and inner tranquility are fundamental goals in Stoic philosophy, and their preservation is paramount for a fulfilling and balanced life. When we find ourselves in relationships that consistently disturb our inner peace, it's a clear indication that these relationships need to be carefully examined and, if necessary, re-evaluated or terminated. Relationships that cause continual internal turmoil, whether through constant conflicts, anxiety, stress, or insecurity, are at odds with the Stoic principle of seeking serenity. Stoic philosophy teaches us to value emotional balance and maintain inner calm, even in the face of challenging external circumstances. A relationship that serves as a constant source of disturbance hampers the cultivation of this serenity, potentially leading to a chronic state of emotional discomfort that impacts our mental health and ability to engage in meaningful activities. In this context, it's crucial to evaluate the relationship's impact on our well-being. This entails reflecting on how the relationship affects us emotionally, whether there is a persistent pattern of negativity that remains unresolved, and whether efforts to improve the relationship dynamics have proven futile. The decision to end a relationship is never easy, particularly when deep emotions are involved. However, Stoic philosophy encourages us to make decisions aligned with our well-being and inner peace. This may entail distancing ourselves from relationships that undermine our tranquility. It's essential to recognize that seeking serenity is not an act of selfishness, but a crucial step for self-preservation and living according to our higher principles. Therefore, when confronted with relationships that consistently disrupt our tranquility, we should muster the courage to make difficult choices, always striving for a state of inner peace and balance. Reflecting on the wisdom of Epictetus's words, the first and greatest victory is to conquer oneself. We realize that the end of a relationship is not a failure, but rather a courageous step toward authenticity and personal wisdom. This journey, though challenging, presents an opportunity for growth and reaffirmation of our highest values and principles. Remember that every choice we make, particularly those that lead us to end situations detrimental to our well-being, is an act of courage and profound self-respect. As we conclude our exploration of Stoicism and its profound insights into relationships, we hope you found this journey both enlightening and enriching. Remember, the wisdom of Stoicism offers timeless guidance that can help us navigate the complexities of human connections with grace and integrity. If you've enjoyed this video and found value in our discussion, we encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you'll stay updated on future content and join a community of like-minded individuals on a shared quest for wisdom and personal growth. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, may you continue to seek truth, cultivate inner peace, and thrive in your pursuit of a meaningful life. Farewell, and see you in our next exploration of Stoic philosophy.